Hello gamers and welcome back. I'm Rob, of course, or Warshak if you want to call me by my in-game name, and we're going to be doing our final card review of the new set on the live stream. We've never done a card review. We've done a card reviews review while streaming live, but we haven't actually done a card review live. This will be our final card review of the set, like I said. So we have a huge amount of cards to go over. We just got back from class, taking our final. We got some dank rocket fuel on our right side. We got Twitch chat helping me out if I can't say anything correctly, if I happen to miss anything out. Ton of cards, like I said. We'll try to get through it, but this is gonna be it's gonna be some heavy lifting. All right, guys. Everybody's saying hi. Hi, YouTube. We got the 9 mana 2/4 dragon hatcher. At the end of your turn, recruit a dragon. This card fucking sucks. I'm just kidding. I don't really. I don't feel I don't feel any kind of way about this card. I'm paying 9 mana for a 2/4. I mean, this guy obviously is not yoked. And then it recruits a dragon at the end of the turn. I think of good dragons. You think of like Ysera, Sleepy Dragon. Which we haven't gone over yet, but he's basically he's an 8 or 9 mana for 12 with taunt. So there are some good dragons that you can pull with this. Obviously, when you recruit a card, the battle cry does not trigger. You're gonna recruit a card due to the fact that it's a giant minion, and or if it has death rattle or something like that. Overall, I think this is just one of those cards that make Thrall that much worse, because when you go to evolve a 8 mana minion into something, you're gonna get this 2/4, and this guy sucks. So yeah, that is what it is. Also, for those of you who had a mini aneurysm because of all my tabs, that's all of the cards that we actually have to go over. So I guess you could see as we move across how how close we are to the finish of this video. This card I actually liked a lot. So he's a 9 mana 5/5. Again, battle cry, you evolve him, he's really bad. Recruit a 1, 2, and 3 attack minion. So it looks really bad, but if you think about it, this guy in the Warlock or Druid deck, they actually have that 3 attack minion. They have an 8 or 9 mana 3 attack minion. It's a 3/5, and then when its death rattle triggers, you recruit 2 4 mana minions. So it's like, I feel like it's like you're like just continuously summoning things, because the card that you play to summon a minion summons cards in return, and those cards actually can summon more minions or get returned back to your deck. So this guy's getting, the fact that he's a neutral legendary allows him to be in a variety of different decks. I mean, you look at Warlock, you have that new big Void Walker. It has 3 attack as well, so you're going to be able to battle cry and then recruit one of those Warlocks. The new Void Walker, Warlock Demons, that's actually really good. So if you're playing any form of recruit deck, that's either going to be, I think, Druid or Warlock, this guy's going to be really important to it. Looking at like Warrior recruits, a lot of the attack minions in Warrior are quite high, so I don't think this will actually be like a good recruit Warrior card. Plus the fact that we haven't gone over it yet, but the Warrior Legendary is very similar to this guy, but when we go over it, we'll see. But this guy's going to be good in Druid and Warlock. Sleepy Dragon. So this is what I was mentioning earlier with the dragons, and you would recruit one from the deck. This is the 9 mana 4/12 taunt dragon. That's it. It's just a vanilla statted giant fucking creature. Obviously, it's a good evolve if you hit it. Obviously, Dragon Synergy has the same stats as Ysera, but instead of generating a minion at the end of each turn, you actually just have taunt. So You've downgraded a little bit with this guy, but it's not the end of the world. It's not the end of the world. It's a good card, though. It's not a bad card by any means. Probably pretty good in Arena as well. Whoa, Cleaver! I wish I could make these cards a little bit bigger for you guys. Can we make these cards a little bit bigger, Rob? Oh, this is thick. Oh, that's too thick. Let's go back 1. There we go. And now we gotta fix a good old Twitch chat over here. Twitch chat's fine where you guys are. All right, we'll just shrink that a little bit. It'll be good. All right, we've made. Look at this. So we're making live modifications. All right. So it's an 8 mana 3/3. After your hero attacks, recruit a minion. So this is basically 8 mana divided by 3, and then every attack, that much mana is worth into recruiting a minion. I mean, that's a hefty fucking price to pay, man. What if you pay for this? You attack 1 minion, and they just kill this weapon. They just like acidic swamp ooze, the gluttonous ooze. There's actually a new ooze out. And then of course you have the Harrison Jones, which is probably gonna see play. You should 25 out of 10 check that donation. Somebody donated. Skip this. Holy shit. Somebody donated skip this card. James, skip this card. Fuck, I don't have the donation things open on here. Fuck. All right, let me add that real quick. There we go, I added it. Sorry guys, we're doing this live. There's gonna be some things that we gotta do. I don't like this card at all. Like, I like the recruit mechanic in Warrior, and if this, obviously, if it doesn't die, it's not terrible, but overall, it's not like, it doesn't give me that warm and cuddly that I would want in my, you know, recruit or big Warrior deck. Like, if you look at Priest, you look at Druid, those are the two big decks right now. You have the big Druid, the big Priest, and they're able to play their minions, right? Like, if you look at Barnes turn 4 or even 3, if you coin it, can bring out the big minion. You have Shadow Essence on 6. Big Druid, obviously, it ramps into, you know, giant minions. By the time, most of the time, your opponent's still at, you know, 5 or 6 mana, and they're playing big minions. Warrior doesn't have ramp, and it doesn't have cards like Barnes in the fact that you could pull a giant minion, but Priest then resurrects it with Eternal Servitude. Like, there's synergy there. Warrior has nothing. They have to wait till turn 8 to summon a fucking Woe Cleaver. Like, it doesn't give me that warm and cuddly, guys. The Violent Wham. 8 mana, 7/7 Beast Death Rattle, summon 7/1/1 Grubs. Holy fuck. That's a lot. That's a lot right now. So you basically get an 8 mana 14/14 if you have no cards on board. It's like it's like an Onyxia when it dies. Besides the fact that they're not dragons, I think this is actually pretty good. Like, that's not a bad card at all. This is super annoying. I think this card's pretty good. Not that it's going to be played in every deck. I'm not going to be, oh, let's play Control Mage with Violet Worm. That's not where we're going with this. But, like, in regards to just, like, a common, and, like, you're a free-to-play player and you want to play a big dick swinger, slap this sucker in your deck. You know what I'm saying? Not a bad card. Ooh, this sucker right here. All right, so this is the Legendary Hunter Weapon, a 7 mana 4/2. Battle Cry, if your deck has no minions, fill your hand with spells. So the new Hunter deck is going to basically have no minions in it. Like, remember the Hunter deck we were literally playing last week, and we had no minions in the deck at all? It was a minionless Hunter deck. Actually, I lied. It had Barnes and Rage, but those don't count. It was a 28 spell Hunter deck. They're pushing all spell deck, and the spells, you know, either summon minions, deal direct damage, clear the board, and this is, as we know, Hunter has no card draw. So a card like this that you can play on turn 7, the stats really aren't that great, but they're okay. I mean, this is 8 damage over 2 turns. And then you fill your hand with random Hunter spells. You got Call the Wild. You got that new, like, fucking pony up, that the 6 mana summon 2 animal companions. You got a ton of secrets. You got kill commands. And there's just a lot of stuff for this card to hit. So obviously, if you're playing this Hunter deck, very specific card, very specific, but very good in the specific deck that it was built to be good in. I don't think the no minion Hunter is going to be tier 1, but I do think the deck is going to be good. I think this deck is actually going to be pretty good, guys. The no minion Hunter deck. It's going to be very similar to the Yogg and Load Hunter. Very, very similar. Moving to another giant fucking worm, we got the Corridor Creeper, a 7 mana. This isn't number 7. This isn't 5. We're not that drunk yet. All right. 7 mana 5/5 beast, costs 1 less whenever a minion dies while this is in your hand. It's an epic. It's expensive. I'm trying to think of it's definitely not a bad card. Like, if it sits in your hand, like, minions die every turn. So obviously Evolve Shaman. Yeah. It wouldn't be bad in Evolve Shaman. 7 mana, most of the time you're gonna be able to play it for a 3 or 4. You know, anywhere between 2 and 5. I think I mean, a 5-mana 5/5 is not bad. It's not great. So it's the second you can play this for 4 mana, it's good. Which means it basically has to just sit in your hand for 3 turns. So what makes this card bad is the fact that it has to sit in your hand and be a dead card when it could have been everything other than what it is. But when you play it, it makes up for the fact that it's been sitting in your hand, right? It kind of reminds me of there was a paladin card that got like +1 attack or something every time a minion died, and it wasn't really played. So I think there might be better cards than this, but it's not necessarily a terrible card. Like, they've printed some fucking awful epics. This is not an awful epic. It's just not like a crazy good epic. To my side. All right, so this was the hunter spell I was talking about that relates to the no minion hunter. It's a 6-mana summon an animal companion, or 2 if your deck has no minions. So obviously animal companions rated at 3 mana. You get basically 2 animal companions for the price of 2 animal companions. What a deal! You know what? 1 animal companion, 3 mana. But what about this? This is Black Friday, folks. I can sell you 2. I can sell you 2 animal companions for the cheap price of exactly 6 mana. But isn't that just 3? The 3 mana and you just added another 3 and sold me? No! To my side, all right? It's just part of the fucking bundle, all right? Obviously, it's played in a very specific deck, very similar to the Hunter Legendary. Is that deck going to be good? We don't know yet. But it's an interesting card, no doubt. Crystal Lion. That guy. 6 mana 5/5 Divine Shield. Cost 1 less for each Silverhand recruit you control. So obviously a Silverhand recruit deck. We've seen them pushing this mechanic before. They're pushing it again in this expansion. I think the Divine Shield is what's going to make this card have play. Or make this card have play. Make this card see play. Because you only need 2 Silverhand recruits to make this guy good. You know, 4 mana 5/5 with Divine Shield isn't bad. You can play him basically whenever. It's not like he has the requirement to have to be played at that specific time. Right now, Paladin has that weird in-between turns like 4 and 5. They don't really have too much. You got Spike Ridge Steed on 6. You got Sunkeeper on 6. You got the new Legendary at 7. But, you know, True Silver's on 4. But what else besides True Silver do you really have on 4 and 5? Those are kind of weird spots. So this guy, I think, fits in pretty good. Not a bad card. I think there's going to be some people memeing around with this. Definitely going to be people memeing around with this card. Missing 6 other minions. We're not missing any minions. All these tabs are fucking doo-doo browns, all right? We're going to get to them eventually. My 6 mana. Whoa. 6 mana 5/9 Taunt. Can only attack if you have 5 or more armor. That is not that hard of a requirement, given that this guy has Taunt. If he has Taunt, that means you're not getting attacked directly. If you're not getting attacked directly, that means you can be gathering some armor. This guy is good. This guy is good. I give this guy a good review. No, I really like this card a lot. It's an overstated 6 mana minion, super annoying, 9 HP's thick. I've been mentioning forever now that warriors don't have enough cards that synergize with armor. And now that, you know, can only attack if you have 5 or more armor, there's a weapon we're going to get to that has to deal with armor. So not too shabby. I like this card a lot. I'm going to play it in my control warrior when we build it. The problem is it is a 6 mana, so it does compete with that new 6 mana card. It's like unidentified something. We had gone over in our last review. I can't think of the name off the top of my head, but it was also 6 mana. So we'll have to see. Playing 4/6 mana, we'll have to see. But I think this card is good. I think this card is really good. Definitely going to give it a go. The Lesser Onyx Spellstone. Destroy 1 enemy minion. Play 3 Death Rattle cards to upgrade. Definitely not a bad card right now. If you look at Vilespine Slayer, it's one of the most powerful, if not like the most powerful card in the game right now. That's really what makes Tempo Rogue so good. They had mentioned that at the last DreamHack event that happened last. Unidentifiable shield. Perfect. Thank you for that. So like the tempo that this gives you, and then on top of that, like a Death Rattle Rogue really doesn't have great things in it. I mean, obviously you're going to run Vilespine Slayer in it, but besides that, it really doesn't have great removal besides those Vilespine Slayers and maybe Abysses if you play them. So cards like this really obviously synergize well with the deck. If you're running a Death Rattle Rogue, you're going to want to play at least one or two of these bad boys. It's just a super good card for that specific deck. So another weapon destruction card for those of you who can't afford Harrison Jones or Gluttonous Ooze or don't want to run the Acidic Swamp Ooze. We have the Corrosive Sludge, the 5-mana 5/5 battle cry, destroy your opponent's weapon. It's common, so it's not going to be that hard for players to get. It's statted pretty good. You know what I mean? So it's not like you're paying this huge premium to discard weapons like some other cards in this and previous sets or have previous abilities. You know, you pay like 3 or 4 mana for the card and its stats are like 2/2, 2/1, 3/2, 2/3. They're just horrible, and you pay like 2 extra mana more to get this ability that may not actually trigger all the time, like cards like Eater of Secrets. So this card is actually really good. Oh yeah, going back to the card we just went over, there's a question in chat. If you upgrade this card, does it destroy 2? It can destroy up to 3 minions. So if you play 3 Death Rattle cards, it goes to 2. Play 3 more, it goes to 3. Or 2 and then 3. You're exactly right, as we see here. Corrosive Sludge, good card. We just went over it. Green Jelly. I don't know what the fuck this is at all. All right, let's... 5 mana, 3/3. Oh, shit. At the end of your turn, summon a 1/2 Ooze with Taunt. Ooh, at the end of every turn. So as soon as you play them, you basically get a 4/5. Which is a Chill Wind Yeti. But half of it, well, 1/3 of it has Taunt. And it happens at the end of the turn every turn. Obviously, it sticks around, it's good, but at that point, why don't you just play Hogger? And for 6 mana, you get +1/+1, and the guy is a 2/2 instead of a 1/2. So it's just like a shitty, cheaper Hogger. It's a common Hogger. It is the green jelly. And Hogger's bad, so this card's going to be bad. But for those of you who enjoy your Hogsters, you got the green jelly now, all right? You got the green jelly now. Fungal Gallimancer, 5 mana 2/2. Give adjacent minions +2/+2. So the best you're going to get out of here is a Blessings of Kings. And he's a 2/2. This card fucking sucks. This card is horrible. The best this card could ever be is a 1 mana 2/2. And you also get Blessings of Kings. Like, this card is bad. This card is really bad. I don't say a lot of cards are really bad, but this card is dog shit. It's a shit nugget. I'm trying to, I mean, he just makes Evolve worse. He's worse. He even looks kind of silly. I mean, I wouldn't purchase those little mushroom thingies off him. He just looks sketch as fuck. He's been taking way too of the mushroom. He's been taking way too many of the mushroom thingies. The Trog, a 5 mana 1/5 taunt poisonous. Isn't there, I swear there's another taunt. There's like literally another card. It's a 5 mana. It's like a 2/6 and it has poisonous. It doesn't have taunt though. The card I'm thinking of doesn't have taunt, but it's like a 5 or 6 mana card, and it's like a 2 or 5. I think it's 2/5 mana, and that card sucks. So this card's gonna suck. This card's just a filler. This card is sad. I don't know why they just don't make poisonous cards. Like, why don't you make them like a 5 mana 3/4 with poisonous? Then you'll maybe even see flair. 5 mana 4/4 with taunt and poisonous. Why you gotta make them a 1 mana 5, like a 1/5? That just sucks ass. Make the cards like they print these cards knowing that they'll never see play, ever. So why don't you just print cards that people can use? You know what I mean? Flanking Strike, 4 mana, Hunter Spell, deal 3 damage to a minion, summon a 3/3 wolf. This card is actually really good, I think. I think this card is very good. It's basically a 3 mana 3/3 wolf is basically worth 2.5 mana. And then so basically getting 3 damage. We know 3 damage is basically a Dark Bomb, Frostbolt, stuff like that. Can't go face, so that takes off a little bit. But that's basically worth 2 mana. So you're basically getting 5 mana for 4 mana. This card is good. And Hunter right now, turn 4 play, Houndmaster requires you to have a beast on the board. If you don't have a beast on the board, what are you developing on turn 4? So this is a good hunter card. This is a really good hunter card. Plus it fits the new spell hunter because you're not playing Houndmaster. So if you're not playing Houndmaster, what's your turn 4 play? So this is a really, really good hunter card. Astral Tiger, 4 mana, 3/5, Death Rattle. Shuffle a copy of this into your deck. So this was the one I was mentioning earlier, that basically you never fatigue, first of all, and you always pull cards out. So you play the 9 mana, what was he, a 5/5 Battle Cry, summon a 1, 2, and 3 attack monster from your deck. It summons the bear dude, and the bear dude says when this dies, summon 2 4 attack minions or less from your deck. You get to summon 2 tigers. They kill the 2 tigers. They put them back in your deck. You play the druid legendary, like, what's his name? Equinox, Hequinox, Miminox. And then he dies, and he resummons that druid card that has taunt. That's 3 attack and 5 HP, and Death Rattle summon these guys back. And then these guys come back on the board again. Not a bad card. Not a bad card. The fact that you don't fatigue is really nice. Not that the fact, I don't think the deck that runs this, well, actually you could play this in some form of like control, taunt, Death Rattle, druid. Oh, I don't think it'll actually be that like super competitive, but it'll be fun. We'll make it. Okay, silence and it dies. You could say that about a lot of things in life, all right? Most of the time, if you're playing a Death Rattle druid deck, you're gonna be saving your silence for the fucking giant Spidey man, the Spoders, the super Spodes. Cursed Disciple, the 4 mana 5/1 Death Rattle, summon a 5/1 Revenant. This card sucks. This is not giving me warm and cuddlies. I'm gonna back out before he makes me sad. Ebon Dragonsmith, 4 mana, 3/4 dragon, battle cry, reduce the cost of random weapon in your hand by 2. What the hell? Why? Why would I do this? Why would I do this? It's not even a weapon, it's a random weapon. Why? Get out of here. That's a shitty McShitter cards, right? Ooh, this guy looks cool. Let's see if this guy looks promising. Hooked Reaver, 4 mana, 4/4 demon. Okay, let's hope for this ability's dank. Battle Cry, if you have 15 or less health, gain 3/3 and taunt. He's good. He's good, chat. We have a good 4 mana demon. Woo! Yes. Most of the time, you're not playing this guy on turn 4, though. He's a 4 mana 7/7. You're exactly right, Ghost. He's a 4 mana 7/7 PogChamp. And if you think about it, Draxus sets you to 15. This guy says if you have 15 or less health. He didn't say if you take 15 damage. He just says your health needs to be 15 or less. This is good. This guy is good. But it's a battle cry, which means if you bring him back, he's not that great. But he's not bad. He's not bad at all. This guy has a promising future. I'm hooked. Rob, next card. Ironwood Golem. 4 mana, 3/6 taunt, can only attack if you have 3 or more armor. It's a druid card, not a warrior card. So they're actually attaching the armor restraints onto druid as well, given the fact that the Malfurion gives you 3 armor a turn if you'd like, and that's a crazy amount of armor. It's almost as much as Justicar. Druid's turn 4 play currently consists of Swipe, Mire Keeper, fungal spore thingies, and by fungal spore thingies I'm evolving spores. Taunt Druid, will see this card will see play in Taunt Druid, almost guaranteed. He's a cheap sturdy taunt. I think this card is better than you guys expect. He's basically Ascension, but he's a druid only. He has 1 more HP, which doesn't seem like it makes that big of a difference, right? Like 3/6, 3/5. But the thing is, like, if you think of a lot of 4 attack creatures and 5 attack creatures right now, they all have 5 attack, which means they have to spend an additional minion to trade into this guy, or they have to spend 2 mana through using their hero power to kill it. I think that 6 HP it signifies a lot more than what you guys think it is. And I think this card is actually pretty good, especially if you summon 2 of them for free. The Monk. 4 mana, 3/6. Your hero can't be targeted by spells or hero powers. Was this supposed to like stop Quest Mage? But then they just killed the Monk. They're just gonna fuck this Monk up. I mean, obviously it's pretty good versus Mage, like later in the game. I don't know. GG, kill Quest Mage? No, dude. All they do is just they just fireball this once and then they just start fireballing your face. This does not stop the Quest Mage at all. I don't know. I don't see where this card fits in. It doesn't belong to any particular class. Its stats are good though. I mean, you would basically increase the attack by 1, decrease the health by 1, and it turns into a 4/5, right? So it's not like anything. It's not anything crazy. The stats are okay. The ability is interesting, but I don't think it actually is going to make a significant difference. This card, however, this card is super annoying. Super annoying. It's going to be. Trust me. This is going to be a card that we do not like at all. We do not like this. We do not like Pony. Pony is bad. It's a 4 mana 3/3 beast. Only you can prevent forest fires. No. Only you can target this with spells and hero powers. Like, so buff paladin plays this. They put a whole bunch of buffs on it, and you can't polymorph it. You can't silence it. You can't do anything. It's gonna be the biggest pony we've ever seen. This is not something we like. I mean, if we're Pony Man, then maybe we like it, but yeah, great for your side, horrible against with your opponent. Like, this is gonna be a nightmare. That's why it costs 4 mana. It's a 3/3, so they play this on 4, and then hopefully you can trade into it or kill it before bad things starts happening. Like, I already see it already. They play Simmering Cursor, and then they coin Steed. Game over. Game over. You can silence Spellbreaker or Ironbeak. Yeah, because everybody plays Ironbeak, right? No, like, obviously silence is going to be good, but they didn't actually print any good silence cards. They printed 0 good silence cards, from my understanding. We haven't gotten through all the cards yet, but I don't recall ever seeing a silence card. So there's going to be, like, what? There's going to be 2 Spellbreakers in everybody's deck because of all these good old battle cries and death... not battle cries, but because of all the death rattles. The Shroom Brewer. Lots of shrooms this fucking expansion. Holy shit, the other guy was cracked out on shrooms like 4 cards ago. And this guy is actually brewing shrooms. Battlecry, restore 4 health. He's a 4 mana 4/4. Obviously in Arena, this is pretty good. It's just a 4 mana 4/4 with a good ability. This is not a bad card for Arena. Obviously, it's not a very competitive card. Sneaky Devil. 4 mana 2/2 Demon Stealth. Your other minions have +1 attack. This is bad. This card's just bad. If it said all your other minions get +1 attack per turn, oh my god, that would be so memey. But just +1 attack. He's basically a raid leader. You pay 1 more mana, but he's stealth, so you don't even ever attack with him. Yeah, I don't think you would you'd play this card. The Darkness. The 4 mana 2020, guys. You thought a 4 mana 7/7 was big. What about a 4 mana 7? What about a 4 mana 2020? Is that thick for you guys, or is that too thick for you guys, or is it not thick enough for you guys? All right. So basically, with this guy, is you play him 4 mana 2020, and you just smack your opponent in the face right away. I'm just kidding. He starts off. Basically like Sherazin, if anybody knows how the Sherazin, the rogue card, the 4 mana 5/3, it's like when it's dormant, and then your opponent actually has to draw 3 candles. So you put 3 candles in your opponent's deck, and they can either draw into them naturally, or you play some form of like mill deck or cards that draw them, like Cold Light Oracle, and they would draw into these lights or the candles. And once they draw all 3 candles, this guy becomes undormant, and you can then attack with them. So if your opponent draws them on their turn, it goes to your turn, you can attack with them. But if your opponent draws the candle during your turn and this guy triggers during your turn, you can't actually attack with this guy right away because he still has summoning sickness. It works exactly the same as Sherazin. I like this card a lot. I think this card is super cool. No, Silence Priest doesn't work with him because he's untargetable. He's like the Sherazin little fucking seed package. You can't target this guy or anything. He's basically, think of him like the Warlock portal. You know what I mean? Like, you can't destroy the portal. Once the portal's on the board, no one touches the portal. Untouchable. So, super cool card. I like this card a lot. I'm going to try to play him. I'm not sure what deck I'm going to try to play him in first, but it's going to be good. I want to try him in something other than Mill because everybody's going to play Mill, right? So I think I'm going to try a little bit something else. This is exactly, do you guys know, every time I bring up the mind cards, this is one of the mind cards I'm talking about, where you put things in your opponent's deck and then when they draw them, bad things happen. I want to make a deck based around just putting things in my deck or my opponent's deck, and then when they get drawn, bad things happen. Healing Rain, a 3-mana shaman spell, restore 12 health. Divided randomly among all friendly characters. That's cool. I mean, obviously this doesn't heal face, so... I don't know. I don't think so. I think getting this card as a byproduct of some shit is not bad. So, like, for example, you run the new Shaman Legendary weapon, right? And what kind of, its characters can heal face. So this can heal face? If this can heal face, it's a lot better. If this heals face, this card is good. But if this card can't heal face, let's say you attack with a new Shaman Legendary weapon, they implement cards like this. So when you pick this card, it automatically is good for your side because the Shaman Legendary weapon discovers a spell and then it just plays it. But if the card is just necessarily like it has no target, it just does things on your side of the board like Evolve, Devolve, Spirit Echo, Healing Rain, stuff like that. Like it has no target. The target is just built into the spell. It can heal face. Okay, this card is good. This card is very good. This card is like super good. See, this is why we do the live stream. The Twitch chat comes and helps me when I don't understand. 3 mana, 3/2, battle cry, give other minions +1 health. The Bard. I mean, the name matches its ability. Bards are like small healers, right? Well, not small healers, but like, you know, they're not like a priest, but they do some healing. I don't think this card is good though. I don't think this card is very good. Cave Hydra, I think this card is good. 3 mana, 2/4 beast, also damages the minions next to whoever this attacks. So we've seen this ability quite a few times in the past. The cards weren't played at all, but because we can like Houndmaster, Crackling Razor Maul, there's a lot of adapt. There's a lot of giving your minions plus damage with Hunter, that this guy could actually become a lot more of a nuisance and be able to kill a lot more than just his 2 attack. He does compete with Bear Shark, and Bear Shark is pretty good. And by pretty good, I mean it's like literally wins matchups by itself, very similar to Flappy Bird. So is it better than Bear Shark? I don't know. I'd have to test, but I don't think this card is bad at all. Dragon Slayer. I saw this when I was saving the cards and pulling up the shit, and this card is gonna trigger anybody playing dragons, all right? 3 mana, 4/3, battle cry, deals 6 damage to a dragon. It literally has Fireball built in to itself. Whoever plays a dragon deck and they go against a person playing that double Dragon Slayer, they're gonna be so mad. And that's like such a, no offense, that's a really dumb picture. Like, I don't like the picture of this card at all. Like, that's a triggering picture. It's It's like you lose because this man She-Hawk did fireballed my creature. Dunhad did that fireball. This is a triggering picture. But obviously if dragons are good, this will be good. But I don't think this is going to see play. I don't think dragons are going to be that popular. I think if they have another... I think if they have another dragon expansion, like a Blackrock Mountain expansion, then this card might see some play, like one a deck. Just because it's a 3-mana 4/3. It's not bad. The Fungal Enchanter. So we got the Fungal Brewer, the guy who sells the fungals, and we got the guy who enchants the fungals. I like this imagery a lot. It reminds me of like a cool wizard. 3-mana 3/3 Battlecry. Restore 2 health to all friendly characters. Too bad he sucks. Why couldn't this be like a really cool card? Like this guy, the artwork on this guy is super cool. Like if I can make my character in a game look like that, I'd probably not make my guy look like that in a game. But still, it's a cool look. He's rocking that look. Look at that fucking top hat. Actually, never mind. That's just his spore little head. But that's still cool though. Look at that. We're all excited. Maybe I'm more excited. Ooh. 3-mana 2/2 Death Rattle. Add a coin to your hand. That's a priest? Obviously Lyra strikes to mind. What's up, Holy? I mean Lyra, but I don't really see where priest... Oh, I guess if you're running combo priest, the coin, the 0-mana Razi, never mind. This card is pretty good then. Yeah, this card's actually better than what I thought, because I was thinking... for some reason, the whole Raza, Anduin, Velen, fucking 0-mana, do shit all, like, it's just, I stopped playing that deck because it was just so dumb. So I guess this card obviously fits in that deck due to the fact that you can basically refresh your hero power, get an additional mana, and if you have the Raza out, do 3, and if you have Velen, you get to do 4, or 2 and then 4. But, yeah, not a bad, and then right now, like, Priest doesn't really have any great 3-mana cards. They have, like, Alkalite of Pain, and that's about it. That's about it. So yeah, pretty good. Greedy Sprite. 3-mana 3/1 Death Rattle. Gain an empty mana crystal. Wait. Like, I gain a mana crystal? Oh yeah, gain an empty mana crystal. Okay. For some reason, my brain was registering as like, let's say you have 5 mana, you spend 4 of it, you have 1, this dies, you get 2. Like, you basically have, like, it's an innervate when it dies. But it just gained an empty mana crystal. Like, you obtain another mana crystal. So it's basically a Jade Blossom built into a minion. But you get no Jades. So I guess... I don't know if it's actually better or worse. Obviously in Jade Druid, you just run the Jade Blossom. But like, for example, Big Druid that runs Jade Blossom, you could run this 3/1 instead. But like, the thing with Jade Blossom is you get the mana right away. This can be silenced. Let's say they don't kill this and you attack, and then you're at 4 mana the next turn. Normally you'd be at 5, so you can't nourish. So it doesn't really seem like to be that good unless they kill it on the spot. Worse because it does nothing late game. Well, neither does Jade Blossom. Jade Blossom doesn't do... If you're not running a Jade deck, my examples are if you're playing... Obviously, you'd run Jade Blossom in a Jade deck, period, end of story. There's no... It just makes Jades, that's good. But I'm talking like Big Druid. You'd play this card instead of Jade Blossom because the max that you can have Jade Blossom in Big Druid would be the 2/2. So this basically has an extra couple life. Or it has an extra attack. But like, it doesn't do it right away. Which means you're not guaranteed the benefit. But obviously when Jade Blossom cycles out, this will be its replacement. The Apprentice, the 3-mana 2/1 Battlecry, deal 3 damage, randomly split among all enemies. So it's Arcane Missiles. Arcane Missiles is worth 1 mana. So you're basically paying a 2-mana 2/1. This card is bad. Your 2-mana 2/1 that has a built-in Arcane Missiles, which no one plays anyway. So if they would have made this guy 2 mana, maybe you would have seen, maybe, oh, you can't see the stats, I'm sorry. Mm-hmm. If they would have made this 2 mana, it would have made sense. 3 mana is too much. It's a bad card. Like, you're paying 2... we know this is only worth 1 mana. Arcane Missiles. So, there's no point. Alright, you can see the stats now. The Barbarian, a 3 mana 4/4 at the start of your turn, attack a random enemy. So it's very similar to Berserk Gorilla, if anybody remembers that card from Yu-Gi-Oh! Super long ago. That's when I used to play. Berserk Gorilla is what this guy is. It is forced to attack every turn, but at least with Berserk Gorilla, you could pick what the fuck you're attacking. I don't think this card is very good. Like, just attacking, obviously if there's no minion, it goes face. They've clarified that. But like, if there's 2 minions on the board, and if you're trying to make trades, you gotta do 50-50s all the time. Like, that's super dumb. That's just dumb. This card is not cool. I don't like that card. Sewer Crawler, a 3 mana 1/1, summon a 2/3 giant rat. So 2/3, we got a 3/4 for 3 mana. But there's cards out that say Battlecry can trigger twice. That new Shaman 2 mana card says Battlecries can trigger twice this turn. Well, on 1 minion, not this turn. I'm sorry. So you get two 2/3 giant rats. I mean, it's not a bad card in Arena. This is not a bad card in Arena at all. Again, it just makes Thrall that much worse. Because now you have a really shitty 3 mana you can evolve into. Yeah, you would never play this card by itself. You'd never just play that card. Shroom. 3 mana, 1/2. Please do something good. At the end of your turn, summon a random 1-cost minion. Why can't this card have stealth? Why can't this card be like growing? Can't be targeted? No. Yeah, why can't it just be like growing? And growing is stealth, and it has it for like 2 turns. Like grow, and then it has 2 turns. So it has to like grow for 2 turns, and then you can finally attack it. Or you could have like Maelstormed or Lightning Storm. You know what I mean? Like, it has stealth for an X amount of time as it grows, because it's a shroom. You know what I mean? Does that make sense? I think that would have been cool, but I don't think this card is good at all. Costs too much mana. And it's not enough HP. Like, if you think of Primal Fin Totem, right? Primal Fin Totem is a perfect example. Costs 1 less mana, has an extra 1 health. The attack doesn't matter on things like this. This stuff that generates other stuff, you don't need it to have attack, because that's not the purpose. You want it to have high health, so it's annoying to kill, and you want it to be as cheap as possible, so you can play it as early as possible to be able to generate the creatures that it generates. So, yeah, I don't particularly like that card. Stone Skin Basilisk. We got the 3 mana 1/1 Divine Shield Poisonous. See, this is actually a poisonous card that is really annoying, right? But you could get a 2/2. Yeah, but you paid 1 extra mana. The card we just went over, you're exactly right, Draven. So we can get a 2/2. The chances of getting a 2/2 are low. Most of the time we get a 1 mana card, you're getting 2/1, 1/1, 1/2, stuff like that. But you're paying an extra mana and you get 1 less life. So it all evens out in a bad way. You never play the Basilisk ever in your deck, but Arena, it's not bad. Toothy Chest, 3 mana 0/4 at the start of your turn. Set this minion's attack to 4, so it's 3 mana 4/4, but can get ripped. I like the artwork on this guy. I like the artwork, but the card's bad. Twilight Alkalite. 3 mana 2/4 Battlecry. If you're holding a dragon, swap this minion's attack with another minion's. Ooh. Spicy. Oh, this is a good card. Oh, we got ourselves a little thickness here. All right, this perked me up. This card's very similar to Vol'jin. When he remembers Vol'jin, I like that card. Yeah, so you just make a card, basically you give it 2 attack, and then you take its big thick daddy, and it can't even kill this because it has 4 HP. This card is really good. Really good. This one. Woo! Popeye. Bladed Gauntlet. A 2-mana 0/2. Has the attack equal to your armor. Can't attack heroes. Fiery War Axe died for this. Fiery War Axe died for the Bladed Gauntlet, boys. It died for the Bladed Gauntlet, alright? It's really good. Really, really good. But Fiery War Axe was better. Why did the Fiery War Axe die? So sad. Why did they just nerf pirates? Why did the War Axe have to nerf, man? Crushing Hand. Holy shit, this guy just got fucking wrecked. 2 mana, deal 8 damage to a minion, overload 3. Holy fuck. That's a shit ton of shit. Eight damage. You can kill a Ragnaros on turn 2. Overload 3 though. That's basically you play this and you do nothing your next turn. You do nothing. And then late game, yeah, it's good too. And it's to a minion. So like cards like this, I like them. Like, let's say deal 8 damage to a minion, or 3 damage to face. Overload 3. You know what I mean? So you give it like an alternate use. Like it can go 3 face, but they basically just paid 3 mana. They paid 5 mana to do 3 damage face, but at least it gave it some other kind of tool besides just minions. If let's say the opponent you're playing against is like a freeze mage or some sort of control class that doesn't revolve around being on the board. So like I just wish they would make cards like this a little bit more versatile. You know what I mean? Like it just doesn't only do 8 damage. Like it has other shit. But it's not as good at all. Like you paid 5 mana to do 3 damage face, but it's still something. It's just not very good. 2 mana 2/2, Dry Whisker Armor. Battle cry for each enemy minion, gain +2 armor. So I guess as long as there's 2 minions, it's a 2 mana 2/2 and gain 4 armor if there's 2 minions. Oh, each enemy minion. All right, never mind. This card is bad. I thought it said for each minion. I can't read. I'm sorry. I thought this was, yeah. If it said each minion on the board, including yours, this card would have been playable. Each enemy minion, this card is not very good. I don't like that card. Murmuring Elemental. This is the card that Asmo reviewed. It's a 2 mana 1/1 elemental. Battle cry. Your next battle cry this current turn triggers twice. You think of cards like the Master of Evolution. You think of cards like the Servant of Kalamos, stuff like that. Not too shabby. I like this card. Trying to maybe in some form of, you know, elemental deck we can fit 2 of these bad boys in there, because we always, it's like a mini brand. It's like a mini Brand's Bronzebeard, but it's cheaper, so you can kind of combo it a little bit better. So good card. Plated Betel. 2 mana 2/3, Death Rattle, gain 3 armor. Okay. Seems insecty. Scorpomatic. It's cool artwork. 2 mana 1/2 mech, Battlecry, destroy a minion with 1 or less attack. It's actually not too bad. It's really, that's like a Northshire Cleric Destroyer. Who's on Northshire Cleric killing duty? I don't think you, maybe you could play this card. It's a mech. Alex is she's doing a little mech dance right now. Mech. Yeah, but it's good versus Doomsayer. It's like a half a Shadow Word Pain. And it's a 1/2. It's not too shabby. Ooh, Candle Shot. 1 mana, 1/3 weapon, immune while attacking. It's a hunter card. It's not bad. That's a pretty good weapon. for 1 mana, and you don't take the damage, because Hunter's one of its biggest things is it has a really hard time at doing 1 to 2 damage to things. More so 1 damage to things than 2, but like, this is not a bad card. I would not be surprised if this Control Hunter runs 2 of these bad boys. That's not bad. This card's real thick, guys. This card is really, really, really good. 1 mana, 1/3. Death Rattle. Shuffle this into your deck. It keeps any enchantments, which means when you play this, let's say you go not Cold Blood, but Deadly Poison, and you give it +2, and then it's a 3/3, and then you give it Lifesteal. When you draw it again, it's going to be a 1 mana 3/3 with Lifesteal, and then if you equip more to that, it's going to keep those. So this card is and it's only 1 mana. This card's good. This card's that good. It's a new rogue legendary, weapon legendary. Barkskin, 1 mana, give a minion 3 health and gain 3 armor. Well, we know 2 health is worth 2 health and draw a card is worth 1 mana. So 3 health and 3 armor is worth 1 mana. Obviously a druid card. And it's pretty, I don't like, a deck that would run this would be like an aggro druid, right? Because you're buffing a minion, but you don't necessarily need the armor. So if you think about playing this in like a control druid, what are you putting this card on? I guess you'd put this on like a taunt, right? You put this on a taunt minion to just make it a little bit more annoying so you don't die in the early game. But I don't think it's like super needed. It's not a bad card. I'm just trying to see where it fits, where it makes the most sense, where like we're just running a different card that's just better wouldn't be what you do. This card, I like this card a lot. The 1 mana Dark Pact. Destroy a friendly minion, restore 8 health to your hero. 1 mana, heal 8. That's that's so good for Warlock. This is something they desperately needed with some form of decent healing besides like Siphon Soul, which isn't even good healing. Drain Life or whatever it's called. I mean, this is a good card. Plus, you have the new Warlock card that says Death Rattle, recruit a minion. So for 6 mana, you can play that card and then Dark Packet, kill it, recruit a minion, and gain life. Like, this is a good Warlock card in my opinion. Plus, it looks really cool. This is a good card. I like that card a lot. Psionic Probe. Hopefully I said that right. 1 mana, copy a spell in your opponent's deck, add it to your hand. This card's also very good. So for 1 mana, obviously if your opponent is playing a spell in their deck, it's probably going to be pretty good. And it's 1 mana, so it combos well with the new Priest legendary weapon that says you have to play 4 spells or 3 spells in a turn. So it's just a 1 mana spell to kind of cycle. It's going to give you another spell that you're going to hopefully be able to use that as well. Not a bad card at all. Not a bad card at all. And it's a common. Dire Mole, 1 mana, 1/3 beast. Okay, Dire Mole. Very good. The Knight, the 1 mana, 2. Whoa. 1 mana, 2/3 stats are huge. Summon a random 1-cost minion for your opponent. Well, there's the downfall. There's the downfall right there. But it makes 1 mana minions better. Random 1 mana minions. 1 mana minions. 1 mana minions just got better in regards to like randomly generating them. Token Druid? I don't know. Maybe. What if you summon another knight for your opponent? Wax Elemental, 1 mana, 0/2. Okay. Maybe in Divine Shield Paladin. I would like to see this card at 0 mana. If this card was at 0 mana, maybe we could rip this in a Divine Shield Paladin deck. Because then we could go like Wax Elemental, Rallying Blade, and then it turns into like a 1/3 with Taunt and Divine Shield. That would actually be pretty cool. See what I mean? Like if they were to just make this 0 mana, it would make it fun and interactive. But no, never fun and interactive, Blizzard. Shifting Scroll. Each turn this is in your hand, transform it into a random spell. I'm not sure what to think of this card. This is our last card, by the way. I mean, I don't think it's that great. But I don't think it's necessarily that bad. Because, you know, you can just wait for that perfect turn where it works out pretty well. It doesn't have a cost because it turns into a random spell every turn. So its cost is going to be whatever it turns into. Obviously, if you're playing the Quest Mage deck, it's a spell that didn't start in your deck. Well, does this count as a card when it randomly it's Shiftmaster Xeris, but for spells. But I guess the card, does it count if it started in your deck or not? Because it randomly generated the spell that wasn't in your deck. It all depends. If this counts as a spell that wasn't in your deck, maybe it's actually pretty good. We'll have to see. But anyway, that wraps up our card review, our final card review for this upcoming set. Super excited to be playing with some of these new cards. I got a couple decks in mind that I want to test out, of course, on day 1. And hopefully I see each and every single one of you there for the stream when we play with these new cards and open up the new packs this upcoming Thursday. And I will catch you in the next episode, of course. Thank you for watching. I'm Robert Warshak, and happy whatever the hell day it is.